Hi guys, long time no see. I feel like I haven't filmed a video in a really long time, and the truth is I've been vlogging and stuff, but I haven't sat down and filmed a video in quite a while. I have been traveling a lot and I have been exhausted. I went to Paris and then I went to LA and then I went to Bali and then now I'm back, and I've just been so jet lagged. Like, this is the first time since I've been back, and I've been back a week now, that I feel like I can actually sit down and film a video, because I have been so tired. I've spent a lot of time with Ayla since I've been back as well, so I've been trying to juggle it all, but I'm here, we're filming. Today's video is something I haven't really spoken about before on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about sex. I got inspired. Sammy Maria did a girl talk video, sex edition one, and I got really inspired. I was like, do you know what, in real life I'm someone that is very open into talking about sex, but on the internet I'm not. And I guess it's because it's not really anyone's business, but I just feel like a lot of us have the same questions, or we once did have the same questions. I would like to talk about things that I wish I knew when I was younger, and I guess it's just interesting. A lot of people have sex, so yeah. Wanted to let you guys know as well, I do have a top on, but obviously it's, So I've got some questions on my phone. I asked you guys on Twitter and Instagram what questions you have for me. Some are to do with me, or some are just advice, or just general questions. How was it losing your virginity, and how old were you? So I was 15 years old when I lost my virginity. My experience was really good, actually. I felt ready. I felt like I could trust him. And I felt like we were going to be something serious, and I could just feel that we were going to be something serious. I waited, I wanted to do it quite early on, but I waited a year until I actually did it, just because I wanted to be sure. I did want it to be special, and I just was cautious of that. I ended up being with him for 4 years, so that was really good, from 14 till 18. But the actual experience was good. As I said, I felt ready. He was lovely. He wasn't a virgin, so, but he made me feel comfortable, and yeah, I didn't feel pressured. I didn't feel forced to do anything. My cherry didn't pop. I didn't bleed, and it was uncomfortable having sex for the first time, but it wasn't painful. I feel like there's a complete difference. It should never be painful. Obviously, it's your first time, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but I was pretty horny. So down there, it was quite a... I was wet. How did you feel after your first time? I felt a bit oh, my virginity's gone. I can never lose my virginity again. And I just remember thinking, sorry, my nose is really itchy right now. I hope this relationship is gonna last. I really was hoping that he didn't just want that from me, but at the same time, we had been talking and we'd built a connection for so long that I kind of just knew that we would be okay. But I felt okay, I think. It was a mix of emotions. I had a lot of questions to myself in my head, but we were good. What would you say to someone that wants to wait until marriage to have sex? I just feel like it's everyone's choice. It's your body. You can do what you want with it pretty much, as long as you're not hurting other people. I just feel if it's your beliefs, if you believe that you should wait until marriage, then wait until marriage. But if you're doing it because, your parents want you to do that, but deep down inside you feel like that's what you want to do, then I'd say do what you want to do. You want to have sex with the person that you're with, and so do they, then if you're grown, do what you're doing. How long do you like to wait until the first time in a new relationship? So it's varied. I feel so vulnerable answering these questions. But a little bit of girl talk never hurt anybody. It's varied. There's been times where I've waited a while, and there's been times where I've met someone new quite soon and I've done it quite soon. I just feel like I'm an adult. Each time you meet someone new, it's either going to be like, whoa, we click, or it's going to be like, no, I want to wait. Like, I'm not really too sure with this one. You know, it's different. What's your opinion on casual sex and one night stands? Have you ever had one? I've never had a one night stand, and my opinion on one night stands are, again, it's your body. Do what you want to do. It's just, for me, I've never been in a situation or seen anyone and thought to myself like, yeah, I want to have sex with you. I believe in like energies transferring and during sex and things, and like it hasn't been a thing where I've believed it my whole life, but my whole sexual life, since I've been having sex, I've sort of stuck with wanting to have sex with someone because you like them as a person and not because like you like the look of them, sort of thing. And like only recently have I been like, you know what, I feel like energy actually must transfer during sex. Like it must. Like, I'm sorry, that's just what I believe. Like if you're single, someone else is single, and you both are fine with having sex without like getting to know each other, then like that is literally nobody's business but your own. Casual sex, it's like I think everyone believes casual sex is a different thing, but casual sex to me is like when you're not in a relationship with the person, maybe getting to know each other and you've had sex without like becoming an actual thing. That's what casual sex is to me anyway. And yes, I have had casual sex if that's like your interpretation of casual sex too. There's been times where it's like I've just been a bit naive and stupid, like after things ended with my first boyfriend at the time, and he was an amazing boyfriend. I cannot fault him, like he was so good to me. But after him, I met somebody else, and I was quite, because my first relationship was really good, I was quite naive to the fact that people have shitty relationships, and I just thought that all guys were like nice, so I was just very naive. I met this guy and he sort of like sold me dreams, sort of made me feel like we would be together, but he was a player, and he was a big player, and I didn't know for a while, and we weren't together, but I liked him so much. At the time, I liked him so much, and I cared for him so much. At the time, I could have like seen us together. Like now, looking back, I'm like, there's absolutely no way. I was young and dumb, and that's how I felt. Yeah, he messed up. And then there's been times where I've like been getting to know somebody, and I like them, and I just feel like I want to do it. Like, I feel like that's what I want. But if I'm not with the person, I always let myself know that don't think that just because you're having sex, it's going to be a thing. Like, just do it because you genuinely feel like you want to do it. I always say that to myself. How to be body confident during sex. So this one is like something you've got to like tell yourself, oh my God, okay, so this is what I've done. Like, if I've been like nervous or like, get your alter ego out of you, like unleash her, like bring her, give him everything you've got, show him what you've got. I'm very unconfident about my boobs and stuff, but at the same time, I just feel like I'm a woman and this is what I am. Like this is what you've got. If there's a part of me you don't necessarily like, then like you shouldn't really have any part of me. When you're having sex, right, with someone, you're not really sitting there thinking like, oh, I don't like this about them, oh, I don't like that. You're not. And I think the other person is probably the same. Like you're just in the moment, like you're in the zone. And like, I swear, when you don't give a shit about what your body looks like during sex, and if you're just going with it, it is so much better. Like it is 10 times better because you're just thinking about like how good you feel and stuff. You tell the person your preferences before sex. So like before we have sex, I don't like sit them down. I'm like, I like this, I like this, I like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. No, that doesn't really happen. Usually like, for me, like I've got to know the person. Sometimes, most of the time, eventually like you get flirty and the topic of sex comes up or whatever. So my throat hurts. So during that time, you throw some things like what you like and what you don't like, and they sort of get the idea. Sometimes it feels like my boyfriend's penis is stabbing me in my belly. Do you have any advice? Girl. So with this one, right, in my experience, I know I felt this as well. Sometimes it could be to do with size, and sometimes I don't feel like it is to do with size. Sometimes I feel like it depends on how much you want the sex and how, like, horny you are. Because I've been in relationships and sometimes it's completely fine, best thing ever. And then there's other times where, like, it feels like it's in my stomach, like, and I can feel it poking me. And I just think it's because in certain times I haven't been as horny as other times. Because when I really am like, you know, sky's the limit, you know, like. Opinions on having sex whilst pregnant. I had sex when I was pregnant. It was fine. Like, you just, you know, you're a little bit more cautious. Things can't get as, like, spicy and, like, rough, maybe, if that's what you like and whatever. Like, you just got to be a little bit more careful, I suppose. Go for it. Like, live your best life. Live your best life. If you feel like it, if you're up for it, then good. I think it's good. I think it's very good. And, like, you know, the baby gets to feel the love. And I know, like, so many people get scared, like, is the baby getting hurt? Can the baby feel, like, his penis in me and stuff? Like, no. Don't flatter him that much, yeah? Your baby's up there, like, your man, like, he may be, but, you know, I should just shush. Is there anything you won't do during sex? Anal. And it's not necessarily out of choice either. Like, I've tried, and it is just the most painful thing. I just don't enjoy it. I don't just like, I know a lot of people say, like, yeah, at first it hurts a bit, but then, like, you get used to it or whatever. I just don't feel like that's anything I could get used to against it at all. It just hasn't worked out for me. I've had a couple of bad experiences, let me not lie. Are you a sexual person or just with your partner? It's hard to explain. I'm not horny all the time, and it's not, like, always on my mind, and I don't have, like, loads of sexual partners. I'm in touch with my sexuality and, like, how I feel, and, like, I'm proud of it, and yeah. Are you a giver or a receiver? If you know, you know. The importance of consent. It's very important. It's very, very important. You know, there's been times where I've had sex and the person hasn't necessarily, like, asked me if I want sex. They haven't, like, directly said, like, you know, like, do you want to have sex? Like, just one thing sort of led to another. But I think it's so obvious when the person wants it. I think people abuse that a lot. I've had one time, so we didn't have sex. We didn't actually do anything. We kissed. We kissed and I was comfortable with that. It was fine. I had a dressing gown on. I don't know if I should tell this full story. I'm just gonna, like, tell, like, brief bits of the story. I had a full dressing gown on, tied up, like, you know. I basically didn't have, like, anything on underneath. He started, like, rubbing on my body and whatever, and I was fine with that as well. And then he started to, you know, try and go down there, and I, like, got my hand, I moved it, and he would continue. I got my hand, moved it, he'd continue. Like, it happened a good 3 times. And I was young. No, maybe I was, like, about to turn 19. Oh, well, whatever. So my age doesn't matter. Eventually, I was just like, look, I don't want it to go any further than, like, kissing and, like, you know, touching or whatever. I don't want you to touch there, like. And he was like, yeah, cool, like, what, cool. So we, like, continued to kiss, and he, like, continued to do it, and I had to really shout at him to, like, stop. Like, at first I was like, stop, 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 and then I, like, shouted, like, stop, and he was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, what is wrong with you? How many times have I got to say stop? I'll leave the story there, but, like, if I wasn't saying stop, if I didn't get angry, I don't feel like he would have stopped. Even when I was saying stop, he was continuing. I had to get angry. Really out here taking advantage. Even in marriage, like, nobody owns anybody, and, like, you have to know that that person wants it. Consent is very, very important. What's your vagina like after giving birth? My vagina after birth. So I can only, like, say from my experience, I didn't tear. and I didn't need stitches or anything like that. So like I can only speak on how it's been for me. I'm a bit TMI, but like I've always been a small person and I've always been quite small down there. I was even worried about it, like pushing a baby out. I thought like my vagina would like fall inside out sort of thing, and like I would be very, very loose down there. But it's done the complete opposite thing. Like it's made me tighter than I was before, and it's so weird. But yeah, that's my experience. Oh, oh, fly. Ah, it's massive. Go away. Have you had sexual encounters with a female? So I don't think many people know this about me. I've sort of like maybe briefly spoken about it or briefly like said in a passing comment, but like it's not something that I scream about because I just don't really think it is important. But I am bisexual and I have had sexual encounters with women. I knew I was into girls for a while. Like I was young, like probably 8 or 9. I never told anybody, I never told any of my family, I never told any of my friends, and I didn't really say anything until I was like 19, 20. But I didn't really say anything. I just like, you know, sort of briefly like made comments that it was odd. It was just obvious that like I liked females too. And when I was in school, like secondary school times, I thought I was like lesbian because I just had more of an interest in like girls, and like if I was gonna watch porn, it would be like lesbian porn. Like I never ever clicked on anything else. So during these times I had never had sex with a girl and I'd never had sex with a guy. I just took more of an interest in girls at the time. And then I started talking to guys more. Like I started fancying guys again, and like I was speaking to guys, and then I started speaking to my first boyfriend that I was with for 4 years. And then like it was pretty clear to me that I liked both, but I was just very confused. Like I was like, I like guys and I like girls, but like, can you like both? Like I was just quite confused. But you know, I was in a relationship with him, and by this point it was pretty obvious that I wasn't just into girls, because obviously I was having sex with him. Now in my life, like I'm still fancy guys, I still fancy girls, but I can't see myself being in a relationship with a girl. And I don't really know why that is. It's just preference, I suppose. But I still like fancy girls. If there's a girl that I fancy, I look at her and I'm like, It's the same with a guy. How much blood is there when your cherry pops? I guess it's different for everybody. Like, okay, so it's weird. Like, for the first guy that I had sex with, I never bled once. Like, never. The second guy I had sex with, I didn't bleed once ever either. And the third guy I had sex with, I bled at the beginning for quite a while. And I don't know if it's because he, like, actually popped my cherry, or if something was, like, just going on. Like, God, a bit more TMI, and I hope he's not watching this. He was large. He was very, like, large. I just don't know if my body had to get used to it, or if he wasn't making me horny enough, or like what. I can't really remember. Yeah, he made me bleed, but I'm not sure if it was my cherry. But like when he did make me bleed, there wasn't loads of blood. I can't really remember. Does body count matter? So I think this is like different for everybody. Like I don't get into a new relationship and I'm like, how many people have you slept with? Like if it's under this number, then you're in the safe zone. If it's not, if it's over this number, then like me and you can't date, sort of thing. Like it's never been like that for me. I just feel like if you're wanting something, okay, so if you want a partner that has slept with 3 people, I just feel like you need to make sure you've slept with 3 people too. What's the difference though? What's the difference between me and you? Why can you sleep with everybody and I have to just stick strictly to 2 people? As you get older, I just find like less and less people care about body count. Like I feel like it was more like of a school thing. Everyone was so into everyone's business, like who's sleeping with who, and like I just don't really think it should matter that much. I do understand when people don't want someone where they've slept with like everybody, like every event you go to or every club you go to, every party you go to, they've slept with 7 people there. Like it's not exactly the best thing in the world. If someone wants to sleep about and you know, they're very free with sex and you're not, and you don't follow the same values in life, then maybe you're just not meant to be together, and maybe that's just not what you're into, and you're into different things, and that's fine. I think body count matters to different people differently. There is a child screaming. I'm sorry if you've been hearing that child for a long time. I've only just noticed now. I know someone who had a guy split up with them because they didn't give it to him when he was ready and he got bored. Have you ever had to deal with these issues? Makeup is always so beautiful. Thank you. I've never been with someone and like they've stopped speaking to me because I didn't want to have sex with them yet and they got bored. That's never really happened. I think that that's manipulation. I think he knows that she really likes him, but she doesn't want to have sex yet. And I think he's thinking to himself, right, well, if I tell her that I'm leaving because you're not giving it up and I'm bored, then bye. How dare you? That is actual manipulation. That is manipulation. Don't be fooled by his shit. If he's bored and wants to go with other girls, then goodbye. Have fun with all your girls. A bit personal, but how do you go about exploring new things about sex, or what do you recommend for people who want to explore more into sex for enjoyment and to learn? I'm quite an adventurous person, I can't lie. Like, I'm quite open-minded. I don't mind trying new things. Just ask them, I guess, like, would you ever do this? Would you want to do this? Are you against this? And I feel like a good way of spicing things up would be to like get new lingerie, put new cute things on, introduce toys. I feel so weird talking about this to a camera, but like introduce toys. I know like it seems weird, like toys in your head, like it's only really used when you're on your own sort of thing. And like, I do. I've got a few. Just suggest new things, but toys is a great way. Incorporate food, put things on each other. It's cute. I don't find myself missing sex, especially since I became a mother. Not in the mood for it. I feel like I have to switch from a loving mother to a sexy partner, and that ain't happening. And any similar experiences? So straight after I had Ayla, like I wasn't like necessarily really feeling like I wanted to have loads of sex and whatever. Like, you've had a baby. It took me like a whole year to start feeling like I want to have like sex again. I always do this. Why do I always do this? But like, I've always been quite like a sexual person, even from like a young age. Like, I've always been like interested and intrigued. It was like unusual for me to like not want it. I had it down to like hormones and just becoming a mum or whatever. Even if I wasn't having sex, like over time, I've just become more in touch with who I was before sexually. And I feel like if you've got a partner, try and make the time for it, because it's like, if it's important to them, see the importance of like being intimate with your partner. I feel like money and sexual issues is something that like breaks a lot of relationships. If you're like finding the time to be sexual with that person, sure, they appreciate it and you would probably really enjoy it. Like there'd been times where I hadn't had sex and then like we'd get intimate again and I'd think like, why did I wait so long, sort of thing. How will you be approaching the talk with Ayla when she's older? Are you planning on being very open with her? I am planning on being very open with Ayla. Like, I plan to be the person that I wish I had when I was younger and I had all these questions. People weren't as open with things like this. So I didn't feel like I could talk to any of my family about things. I didn't feel like I could talk to any of my friends about things. Like, people weren't as open. I plan to be that for her. Like, I would hate for her to have questions and feel like she can't come to her mum. I've been there and done it, girl. And I don't know when I'll do it. It just depends on the individual. I guess you just sort of know when they're sort of getting to that stage. And how to not catch feelings with a assigned dick provider, aka F-buddy. Assigned dick provider. I like that. I think it's a hard one, because this is what I mean with like sex. For like energy transfers, you start catching feelings or whatever. For me, if I've ever had casual sex, I always like tell myself, this is what you want. Like this, you are having sex with this person because you want to have sex with this person. You're not having sex with this person because you want them to like you more. That never works, by the way. You're not having sex with this person because you don't want you don't want them to like get bored or like you don't want to be doing that. For me, like I've always said, like I'm having this sex because I want this sex. Like I want to have sex with this person, but it doesn't mean that anything's going to come from it or happen from it. Like it is what it is, sort of thing. But if you know you're somebody that catches feelings quickly or like after having sex, then just be careful with who you're having sex with, because catching feelings for the wrong person is hell. What if he doesn't want to use condoms? If he doesn't want to use condoms and you want to use condoms, don't have sex with him. Unless you want a baby, yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't be using a condom. Oh, it doesn't feel as nice. Well, then if you think that, then you're just going to have to find somebody else to have sex with, because I'm not going to have sex with you without a condom. And it's simple as that. If they can't get with it, go away. If you're not comfortable with that, don't deal with that. Don't deal with any of that behaviour. Absolutely not. How to say no without ruining everything. Love you so much. This is a big deal for me and I'm still struggling with this. Oh, honey. I love you. It is actually a hard one, because you know when they want it and like you want to give it to them because like they're your partner or whatever, but you're just not in the mood or you're just tired or something. Like, I'm just sort of just like, babe, like not tonight or not today. Like I'm really, really tired, but I promise I will make time for action this week. Something like that. I don't know. Have you ever been in a situation where you've had to share your partner or tried open relationships? No. I've never like been in a relationship where there's been like multiple people in that relationship. I've always just been in a relationship where it's just been 2 people. Open relationships, if you're sleeping with me, I don't expect you to sleep with other people unless we've agreed. But like, that's never something that I've agreed on. I think, again, it's up to the individual. Live your best life, do what you want to do. But I can't see myself sharing my partner, especially in a relationship way. Like, I've considered sharing my partner in sexual ways because I've wanted to as well, but I've never actually done it. I've never actually had a threesome or anything. I've thought about it, it's just never like actually happened. But like being in a relationship with somebody and they've got like several partners, or like I've got several partners, like I just don't think it would work for me. Yeah, a lot of jealousy would come into play, I suppose. I have it in mind where you're in a relationship and live together, you have sex every day of the week. Was that the case with your previous relationship? Absolutely not. It's unnecessary to have sex every day, like unless it's what you want to do. But I am tired. I've got work to do. I've got a baby to look after. I am tired. We can't be having sex every day of the week. Seriously. Doing loads. How much is too much sex? I know every girl is different, but boyfriend wants me to have sex 4 or 5 times a day. This can't be normal. 4 or 5 times a day? What? Oh. The thing is like when I'm first with somebody, right? When we're like first having sex, you are like rabbits, aren't you? Like you are like doing it like 4 times a day. Like it's overwhelming and you just want to like share the love in all ways that you can, sort of thing. So that I understand, but like after a while it sort of doesn't always go like that. 4 or 5 times a day is a lot. It's a lot to expect. It's a lot to expect. I just hope he respects your wishes when you say that you don't feel like it. He is absolutely roasting though, isn't he? How long did you wait to have sex after birth? Did it feel different physically or emotionally? I think I waited like 5 weeks or maybe 4 weeks. I know you're meant to wait about 6 weeks, but I felt like I wanted it. It was so weird because a few days after having sex, I was so horny, right? I've never been that horny in my life, ever. And I think it's because my body was so used to being pregnant, it thought, you need to make another one. You need to make another one now. Like, that's what I actually think. But I couldn't have sex because I was still sore down there. I can't remember how it was. I think it hurt a little bit. Like, it was a little bit, like, uncomfortable. But it was okay. Anything you regret or could have done differently? There's been a couple of people like I wish I didn't necessarily have sex with, but mainly because I just don't feel like they just didn't deserve my body and they didn't deserve me. It bothers me that they're able to say had sex with me, but at the same time I think it doesn't matter because it's what I wanted at the time. I might regret in the years to come not ever doing it. And if I had fun at the time, then whatever. Have you ever had drunk or high sex? If so, what was better for you? I've had both. I've had drunk and high sex. By high, I mean like weed. I have tried it. Ooh. Drunk sex, I'm sloppy. Like, I'm more confident. I'm like, yeah, like, I'm sloppy, I'm lazy. Don't ask me to go on top, absolutely not. High sex has been good. I don't feel lazy. I just, like, my body just feels so, like, zoned. How big does it have to be to feel aroused, or does size matter? Size doesn't necessarily, like, matter to me. I've been with people and they've been absolutely massive and they didn't know how to have sex. And I've been with people and their penis size is average and I've had, like, the most wonderful sex of my life. And do you know what? I've never had sex with anybody and their dick has been small, like tiny. Never. I've only had one sexual encounter where his penis was small, but we didn't have sex. The last question I'm going to answer. I've never been able to orgasm in my long-term relationship, ever. Is there something wrong with me? So actually, there is a small amount of people that can never reach orgasm. In my experience, you have to, like, get to know your own body. You have to know what's going to make you orgasm. Before I had sex, I explored my body so much, and now, like, I just know what's gonna, like, make it happen. Just find what is working with you, and, like, it may take a while. There's nothing wrong with you. I just think it's all about exploring and finding out what works for you and what you like and whatever. That was the last question. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. I enjoyed the questions. Thank you for the questions. I feel like there will be a lot of people that don't feel alone from this video. Thank you to Sammy for giving me the inspiration for this video. And I will link her video down below also. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye!